Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Dog Classroom Podcast. I'm Amelia.
And I'm Anne-Marie.
And today we are going to be debunking.
Oh, she remembered.
I remembered the word debunking. Some common dog misconceptions. So, one that I wanted to start with, because I see it all the time, is that just because a dog is wagging their tail, that means they're friendly.
Right.
And so when we get emails or calls from people saying, you know, my dog bit somebody and I don't understand because their tail was wagging.
Right.
Or everything was going fine and my dog was sniffing this dog and their tails were wagging and then they started to fight. I think that, you know, with the body language, people don't understand that there are different types of tail wagging.
Yeah.
And it would be cool if we had some like demos or something. But essentially, like what you're seeing when we started this with C, she was wagging her tail sort of low and soft, and that was because she was sort of looking at you. And yeah, just like a nice little low, soft side-to-side tail wag. Whereas when we see a dog who is over aroused or like aggressive or whatever you want to call it, the tail is up really high, like depending on the breed, obviously, and it's almost like twitching back and forth. And it's just a different type of tail wag that indicates to people who are reading that body language that maybe this is not about to be a friendly interaction.
Right. And I think a lot of times, just to jump in, but we're going to keep on with the tail, to me, when I read body language, I just don't go for one body part.
Right, yeah. You want to be reading the entire dog tip to tail, but I think because people assume that wagging tail means friendly, that's all they're looking at.
Right.
And wagging tail, if it's really low, if it's tucked, and wagging really fast can also be some fear.
Yes, definitely.
Or like the submissive behavior where, you know, you could still see issues because the dog is in a situation where they're trying to show those appeasement signs and go like, hey,
appeasement, good word.
I don't mean any harm, you know, I'm just here wagging my tail.
And then it's misinterpreted, and then that leads the dog to being pushed and added stress. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and so I think that's one that I really wish was more like commonly understood, like just because the tail is wagging.
I think in some of our presentations, like when we've done the reactive dog seminar, and then I did the sound one, and some people were actually asking us to do a body language one, which I think we'll do. It makes it a lot easier when we're showing video or we're showing slides, and I think, you know, that's something that's definitely in the works.
Yeah.
And then people understand it better when they're actually seeing
when
it.
They can see it
Then we're trying to describe it. But honestly, with the tail, most of the time, I would say like 99% of the time when we are talking and we describe swaying back to high like this, people are like, okay.
Yeah, and I think seeing it with your own eyes also helps. Like the reason that you and I can see it so quickly, like I've actually had, I was intervening in a situation and the client was like, how did you see that?
Yeah.
And it's just because we know what to look for. And it's just second nature at this point to be like, that's not a happy tail. Let's get them out of here.
Right.
Because they were about to start fighting. And so if more people have that ability to go, oh, this is maybe not a great situation, because this is something that Kelsey and I talk about all the time, is people don't call their dogs away when they're greeting. They just keep going because the tail is wagging, so they think it's good.
Yeah.
Or they say, this is another one we're going to get to, but my dog is friendly because the tail's wagging.
But what I say, and I said to the client yesterday, you were talking, you helped me with an article or did an article in the newspaper, the 3-second butt sniff.
Right.
Okay. So just because we pull them out after 3 seconds does not mean they don't go back in for another sniff. So what we're basically saying, and Amelia's talking, if you're not sure, call them apart, calm, go back in. It doesn't mean it has to be over, but honestly, as you increase the time, it gives you so much more information.
Yeah, and it's just taking that quick break to sort of eliminate any risk or to take a second and sort of let the dog decompress, and then they can go back if they want to. Same thing with people, because if people are reaching for the dog and they're going, oh, the tail's wagging, they're friendly, and then they try to pet them and they get bit, not ideal. So we talked in a previous episode about they have the opportunity to hand target or to not hand target.
Right.
And if they do hand
So
target,
we're giving choices instead of,
yeah, the way that we teach it is they go in, they touch, and then they come out to get a reward from the person, or they get sent back in if they want to.
Yeah.
So reading the body language helps you to do all of those things as well, like to know when to call your dog, to know if a greeting is okay or not.
Right.
And also, you know, when you're out and about, if you see a dog and you're going, oh, I want to touch that dog, and you think that they're friendly, yeah, you can maybe learn a little bit more about the body language. And just because the tail's wagging doesn't mean.
A lot of questions sometimes I get is about different breeds.
That's fair.
You know, because we have our bulldogs, we have our Bostons and stuff that don't necessarily have a tail.
Which then we as humans have taken away that piece of communication, right?
Yeah, we have. Or even schnauzers with no tail and ears cropped.
It is
Sometimes
harder to
Bouviers,
read.
Yeah.
But I also find if the dog is happy and they don't have a tail, like I'm thinking of like Rottweilers, Bulldogs, things like that,
Yeah.
their whole body just wiggles.
Yeah,
Right?
true.
Like boxers and stuff.
True.
Their body is
So
still
look
showing
at
more.
other body parts.
Right.
There's other body parts to look at. The thing is we're focusing on the tail because I think the tail is one of the ones that's missed the most. That I think because even, you know, we talk about ears and then we talk about like stature and stuff, and
Yeah.
I don't think those are as obvious for people, and they get a little more confused about those, but I think it's about the tail. So basically saying if you're not sure about the tail, look at the
Yeah.
I also say look at the environment of the whole situation.
Yeah, we do have to look at the whole situation. We're just pulling out this one piece and saying this is a really common misconception. Other things are like the dog is smiling when the dog is really stressed and they're stress panting.
Yeah, because they pull their
Yeah, so they're the word is the tight connoisseurs of.
Is that
the
what they
lips.
say?
I don't know how to pronounce that, but yeah, it like gets pulled back.
They sort of
Like a smile, as
yeah.
opposed to when a dog is like relaxing, panting, it's a nice C shape.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you'll see like a lot of pictures. Like I saw one actually just yesterday, and I was like, oh my gosh, that picture makes me incredibly nervous. The dog's face was super tense, the eyes were squinty, the mouth was pulled back, and there was like a baby in the picture, and I was just, no, not cute, not cute.
Yeah.
But people think that the dog is smiling.
Yeah.
And so they don't understand, and then they go, the dog bit out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Because
but a lot
of
of
that.
times there's signals that were
Yeah.
that
So
were
there's
actually
definitely there's misconceptions about body language for sure.
Yeah.
This one is also leading into the one that I really wanted to talk about.
Okay.
My dog is friendly. Yay. And this is something that when you are the person with the friendly dog, you don't
Are you
get
going
it.
with people or are you going with dogs? Where are you going first?
Either.
Okay.
Because I think, okay, so having been there as the person that had the friendly dog, when I used to take Holly out and let her off leash and let her run up to people and let her run up to dogs because I didn't know any better.
Yep.
I was like, my dog is friendly. Why does it matter if she runs up to you? People can be scared.
Yes. People have fear of dogs.
People do
because
have fear of
they
dogs.
have been attacked, jumped on.
Yes,
hurt.
even small dogs,
Yes.
which I think some people think doesn't matter because the dog is small.
And that they can't cause damage, but yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Other dogs can be scared of dogs.
Yes.
Other dogs can be
know that's
aggressive
huge.
toward
Yep.
dogs. Other dogs can just not want your dog running up to them while they're on leash, and yours isn't.
Which is rude behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think as the person with the friendly dog, when you don't understand that, you're going, well, my dog is friendly. Why should I have to put them on a leash?
You're not taking into consideration the other dog might not be, or
Yes.
the other owner might be uncomfortable with it.
Exactly.
And again, you know, I've written the articles in the paper because we're both sided. Like we're on both sides. Like we also deal with the reactive dogs, and
Right.
we have the dogs that we don't want to be run at while we have our dogs on leash, and we have people yelling at us while our dogs are friendly, and we're standing there going, yeah,
I don't
can
care.
you, yeah, well, our dogs are uncomfortable with it.
Yeah.
But then we also have the friendly dogs, and I'm not saying we're letting them run forward. But, I gave you a few examples of the other day where, yeah, our dogs are friendly, but I still don't want to put my dog in a situation of where they're stuck on leash being run at because, like
Yeah, you've got the
wounds on
burns.
the legs. Like, what happens then? This dog's running, jumping on me, getting tied up in the leash. Like, yeah, no.
Yeah, it inconveniences
Yeah.
others. Also, the thing that I think when you have a friendly dog, you don't understand is that there are dogs who are not friendly, and it doesn't matter if your dog is approaching in a nice way or not.
Yeah.
That dog could do damage to your dog.
Yeah.
Your dog
You're
could
setting
get
your
hurt.
dog up in an actual situation to be hurt rather than just assuming, oh, hey, my dog's friendly. You're actually putting, and it's unfortunate where there has been quite a few friendly dogs approach other dogs that have been physically hurt because they've been allowed to go into a situation where I think any type of grading or anything should always be mutual.
Yeah, and I think that's something that, maybe is just a little bit misunderstood. But if people have the education about it and they go, oh, okay, it actually, like, I was one of those people where it wasn't until I had Stark, who wasn't, the friendly dog, that I was like, oh, okay, like, it doesn't matter if this dog is friendly, this one isn't, and that can cause an issue.
Yeah.
So realizing that your own dog could get hurt, realizing that your dog could run into a situation, get tangled in the leash, and then you get up in there and you get hurt. Realizing the trauma that you could be causing for people. So we talked about, my family member whose dog was killed by a dog that was just hanging out in the front yard,
And happened to be your family member happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Just walking down the sidewalk, and the dog came out, and it was within seconds because it was big on small.
Yeah.
And so things like that can happen. That's traumatizing for the friendly dog owner because your dog has just done this, and it's traumatizing for that person. And now, when they go out and they're walking their other small dog and they see a dog off leash, there is trauma.
PTSD. Yeah, there is.
And
absolutely there is.
I know, like, for me, when I was walking with Stark, like, even though I know he's not going to hurt anybody, I know that he has Addison's disease and that he can't get that stressed. That could put him into a situation.
Yep.
I know that he has had his knee replaced, and getting jumped on by a young friendly dog could really injure him.
Yep.
I know that having a small dog, I don't want to risk other dogs running up to her. So I have seen both sides of this now, and I'm very much yes, let your dog off leash. My dogs are off leash all the time where it's appropriate to do so.
There you go.
My dogs have recall. They're on long lines if it's somewhere that they have to be on a leash.
Yeah.
I don't let them approach. Even if they're on a long line, I'm reeling it in. Being respectful of other people's space, whether your dog is friendly or not.
Yeah.
Whether
I
your
think
dog
the
is
other
well
thing
trained or
too
not.
is no matter what, even when people say, oh, my dog is friendly, they have maybe never been, because there's been multiple situations, is even though they're saying that similar situation, you can never in life produce a situation identical to another one. So even though they say that their dog's friendly, chances are their dog has never been in that situation, and sometimes it goes the other way.
Yes, and so that's another.
So it's an unpredictability. Yeah.
Another fear that I have is that maybe my dog would react to a larger dog, and then that dog would react back.
Yeah.
And they're off leash, so we can't get them. There's just lots of things that I think go into it, and then there's also, we just talked about people misreading body language.
Yeah.
Sometimes people say it's fine, they're friendly, and they're not friendly.
Yeah, I know.
And it's the situation where you end up stuck because you're there with or without a dog. Even if you're just a person on leash, you don't need to be jumped on. You don't need to be bitten by a strange dog. Like, there's just so many things that I wish people would understand. And we even did an event recently where I printed out little handouts that were from Lily Chin, who's an artist.
Yes.
And we have them at the training space now.
Yeah.
And the title, I think, is just "My Dog is Friendly," and then it's like, here are reasons why like this might not be okay. And I was just trying to provide some education about
Did
it.
she have like little pictures? Was that
There was
the one with the
pictures on
pictures?
it,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And like, I think people just
Like,
didn't
simple to
understand.
the point,
Yeah,
right?
why I was trying to give that to them.
Oh, okay.
So like they don't realize why they need that education. And when
Yeah.
you're the friendly dog owner, you don't
No.
realize that.
No.
Or, you know, if your dog has never been run at by an off-leash dog, like you don't know how your dog is going to react. There's lots of reasons why people are like, I don't understand why I would need this. Like, just
Because I
learn.
think it's also, though, about everybody's trying to coexist. And, you know, we want to be social with our dogs and we want to be able to bring our dogs places. And we even were talking about different stores and stuff where all it takes is one situation to ruin it.
To ruin it for all of us.
For everybody else. And that's sad because
Yeah.
look at it, you know, like they love to get out, like Tulip Winter's dog, you know, shopping. She
Yeah.
sits on every sort of thing, you know, and I would ever hate that just because somebody else had these different expectations and then they're no longer to be social. There's so many good dogs and there's so many situations that could probably go a little different with just a little bit of education. And that's really why we're here and that's why we do this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So
All right.
we'll leave that.
Okay.
One more kind of heavy one, and then we'll go on to the fun
Okay,
stuff.
go. All right.
The other one that really gets me is it's all in how they're raised.
Okay.
And
I thought you were going there. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, case in point, rescue dogs.
Okay.
We don't know how a lot of them are raised, and they're excellent dogs.
Yes.
Like, Holly was probably the best dog ever, right? And we don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I raised Stark from a puppy, and he is a special boy.
I was wondering what word you were going to use.
He's a special boy.
Special.
We love him.
We love him. He has his quirks.
We do.
love him. Okay.
But has he been abused? Has he been, you know, and people will think that if your dog is reactive, you must have done something to them.
So I think what Amelia is trying to say is she's talking about, say, when you get that puppy at 8 weeks or, you know, 6 to 8 months, she's talking about a lot of people will say it's the environment that they're brought up in. That's exactly
or what you have done.
What you have done. Okay, so what you have done, where some people will say, I didn't do classes, I should have done it, it would have changed the dog. Or I walked them too early, or I didn't walk them. There's another one or my vet told me, we've had that a little bit, where not to walk them till they're fully vaccinated at 4 months, and then we're having reactivity issues. So keep going, because you're on a roll, I think.
Okay, so I think of, and this would be, again, helpful to have a picture, but I think of like a spectrum, and there's going to be the really fearful dog, and there's going to be the really outgoing dog, and every dog is somewhere on there.
Yeah.
If your dog's genetics,
okay, you're on a spectrum. Okay.
If your dog's genetics only allow them to be maybe like slightly over the fearful line, like you can do all the socialization in the world and they're still just going to be in the middle of that spectrum.
Right.
You're not going to get super outgoing.
No.
You could also do absolutely nothing and have the nicest dog in the world.
Yes.
And so genetics are such an important piece of the individual dog. And I think that it's something that people don't realize a lot. Like if you get, if you think it's all in how they're raised and you get a dog from the Humane Society and they're scared of men, you go, men have beaten them.
Right.
Is that true? Or have they just not been exposed to them?
Right.
I hear it all the time with, well, my dog doesn't like other dogs. They must have been attacked. Were they attacked, or have they never seen other dogs? Have they never seen a dog that looks like that? Have they never seen a dog that behaves like this? Like, there's so many things that go into it.
Because I think you get into genetics, you get into environment, you get into socialization, which we said we weren't going to necessarily talk about. But what Amelia is really trying to say, oh, we're going over there, is that there's more to it than just environment. And the unfortunate misconception is a lot of people take that very personally, I think, and very emotionally. And unfortunately, sometimes different, and I'm, how am I going to say this without being, different caretakers or breeders will actually or still believe It's the environment of where that dog has been
So-
raised, and that there is no genetic,
Yeah.
and they had
Nothing to do with the issues. Yes, I see where you're
Okay.
going.
Do you see where I'm going? And I'm trying to be very.
You're being very careful. Thank
Okay.
you. Because we see there's also people who think, like, along the same lines, it's all how they're raised. Puppies are blank slates. I can get any breed I want, and they will do anything I raise them to do. I'm sorry, but no. And I think, like, there are breeds that are not popular family pets for a reason.
Yeah.
Because they have individual breed traits, and they have individual genetics, and they have, you cannot take that dog and mold them into something.
I think
just
there's
because you
like
socialize
honestly
them.
a whole breeding episode. When I went to vet tech school, I had to take a genetics course, and the bonus about that, it wasn't super hardcore, but you get the basics. I can't remember what that grid was called, but you get the basics.
Oh, yes, I know that
You know
one.
what I mean?
Yep.
By you're doing the traits. And I
Yeah.
think we talked about simple things, like even with dogs, like you got Merle or you got blue eyes,
Yeah.
right? And some of those traits. That is happening when these breeders or caretakers, again, in rescues, there's no choice.
Yes.
Right?
You get
like
what you get.
it's natural, it's
But they also have some
but-
inherent traits that lead to survival.
right.
Because that's why.
Yeah, so that's another thing. But when we're talking about breeders listings, that sort of thing, they're picking for some of these traits, and whether they're physical or personality.
Yeah.
That's why it's important to do research and be talking to these breeders, because
Not just the breed, but the breeder.
yes, because what did they breed for? Like, was it physical? Was it the hips? Was it the coat? Was it personality? And you see a lot of times some of them are right, they went based on personality over this or that. But again, it's important, and yes, that is a huge misconception, and we really try again about the education part. And when we talk to owners that are becoming extremely frustrated or are seeing these behaviors come out in the dogs, we are actually asking them to get in touch with the breeders or the caretakers or whoever bred them and brought them up. The other thing is, again, it doesn't hurt to even with rescues, and one of our clients, I think she did a pretty good job, where she tried to meet the mom because the mom came in with the pup. She went and spent time with them multiple times, so there are some things you can do. But again, when you're getting a rescue, you're not knowing the parents to what's produced, because the same thing with humans is, when you have kids, they have some of your traits,
Right.
physical and
And behavioral. Yeah.
So,
Okay. So we'll leave that. Maybe we'll do
Okay.
another genetics episode at some point.
yeah, I think we should.
Let's
But that
finish
would be
off with
fun.
some light fun.
Okay,
light fun.
where are we
We've been
going?
heavy.
Yeah.
Dogs eat grass because they're sick. Yeah.
Next.
Dogs are colorblind.
Right.
Everything's gray.
The grass one, by the way, guys, I wrote an article like 3 years ago, and I think I was going to revisit it and write it again. Because a lot of people say the reason my dogs eat grass is because they want to vomit. Personally, it's out of boredom. Some people say it's lack of nutrition. It's out of boredom. If you give the dog something else to do outside, more than likely they'll do it. I think sometimes, yes, they like the dew, or it's cool. But honestly, there is no nutritional component for the dog. They either end up vomiting or pooping it out.
Yeah.
Done.
Done.
Colorblind.
Colorblind. Okay. So I think lots of people know now that they can see something. Everything's not just gray. But we know that they can see blue and
They're
can see
getting
yellow.
to know more and more,
Yes.
right? Through all this different color testing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
which is
so
super cool, because they are sitting there with the...
when we do agility, like our contact equipment
That's true.
is blue
Yes.
and yellow because the
Yes.
dogs can see it really well.
Yeah.
We had a couple dogs this weekend who were a little worried the first time they saw all black contacts.
Yeah.
They were just like,
But do you remember
"What is
when we
this?"
went to Minneapolis 2 years ago and there was red?
The red was the
They
hardest.
hesitated on that dog walk.
And I believe because it was red on green flooring, that
Yeah.
the way that they see those two colors,
Yeah.
it probably was very confusing for them. So that can play a part in what toys you pick for them. It can
Right.
play
Okay.
a part in, you know, the different activities that we do. So like with agility, when we're picking our colors for certain things, we're doing that for a reason.
Yeah.
And then also when you're playing with your dog and you're thinking about the environment, so green grass with a red ball, very hard for them.
Okay.
Green grass with a blue.
You're
or
making me
yellow ball.
think of things, what color balls I just bought, but okay.
Yeah. It's easier for them to see. So that's just like a fun, light little myth.
Okay.
Rapid fire the rest of them. They're not as light, but dogs can be guilty.
Did dogs show guilt? No.
Dogs show appeasement behaviors.
Yes, and they go based on your body language. If you come in and you act very upset and you're scowling,
Or your pheromones are giving angry.
there you go. Yes, they're going to act like something wrong. Do they know why you're displaying that behavior? Absolutely not. Are they going to show appeasement behavior? You betcha they are.
There you go. Let's throw out one more.
Dogs don't bite.
My dog doesn't bite. Yeah, all dogs bite.
All dogs bite.
All dogs have the potential to bite.
Yeah.
Some dogs have a higher limit than others.
We hope long term and through training that the majority of dogs have bite inhibition, which means when they bite, they won't bite as hard.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, maybe we'll get a little mouthing or a little bruising, but we aren't going to get a puncture wound.
Right. And that goes back to genetics as well.
Yeah,
a little
but
bit,
that's getting a little bit scary there. You had one more there.
Did I? I
No,
think
how
that's
they're
it.
raised, lighter ones. Okay, wrap her up.
We're good. Okay, so hopefully that wasn't a little bit too much, but we did enjoy covering our myths, our debunking of our myths.
Yeah.
And we hope that you guys will tune in next time. You can find us on our website, thedogclassroom.com, and at social media at The Dog Classroom.
Thank you.